If there's one skill that separates good hockey players from great ones, it's skating. Good technique allows a player to skate harder and faster with less effort, thus allowing the player to perform to their maximum potential without having to think about the mechanics of skating. The efficiency of the skating stride depends on applying a few fundamental principles to develop quickness, speed, and strength, which are all essential to being a better skater.
C-cuts, left foot, right foot. C-cuts are a basic skill that can help younger players with their forward skating. The C-cut is an important skill to master because it's a necessary component of many other skills, such as crossovers and propulsion while turning. The basic C-cut involves using one leg as the glide leg and the other as the drive leg. The drive leg must recover directly under the body next to the glide leg. C-cuts, alternating. The next progression of the basic C-cut is to alternate the legs. C-cuts, both feet. The third progression of basic C-cuts is for both feet to perform the action simultaneously. C-cuts, pulling partner. Having the players pair up and pull each other while performing C-cuts is an easy way to offer resistance. If done properly, the added resistance will help players perform a more precise C-cut, allowing them to concentrate on doing the technical aspects of the skill correctly. Slalom, C-cuts narrow. Slalom C-cuts narrow is a similar motion to downhill skiing. It is in fact an unnatural skating motion because the feet are always together and parallel. This is a great skill for helping players develop their coordination and achieve better control of their skates. Slalom, C-cuts wide. This exercise is similar to slalom C-cuts narrow. The difference is a wider pattern for the slalom and the C-cut is more exaggerated. Slalom, pulling partner. Using the slalom technique while pulling a partner is a great exercise that adds resistance while also building strength. C-cuts, back foot, crossunders. This combination skill involves two actions. The first is a simple C-cut on the inside edge. The second is a C-cut on the outside edge of the same skate. This second action is a difficult skill because creating the additional propulsion requires that the entire skate blade remain in contact with the ice while the outside edge of the heel is driving downward. C-cuts, alternate crossunders. The next progression of C-cuts is both feet taking turns performing the C-cut and crossunder. C-cuts, heel only. A good exercise for improving quickness of the feet is to perform C-cuts with the heel of the skate. By concentrating on only using their heels, players can greatly improve the strength of their push. Forward striding. Taking fast, short strides helps to develop powerful skating. The basic forward stride is derived from a sequential extension of the hip, knee, and ankle in a lateral thrust. The knee of the gliding leg must be fully flexed, extending beyond the toe of the skate. The weight of the body needs to transfer over the striding leg at the beginning of each stride. The ankle and foot of the striding leg should be completely extended to the tip of the toe. The skate of the recovery leg should be kept low to the ice, passing under the center of gravity. It is common to see younger players use a high heel kick after the stride, but this makes the recovery time longer. As speed increases, longer and less frequent strides may be taken to maintain speed. Exaggerated stride. The exaggerated stride is a good technique for getting players to slow down and lengthen the movements of the forward stride. This not only helps them get a better feel for how these movements should flow together, but they can also put more focus on the push, glide, and recovery stages. Forward striding, pulling partner. Forward striding while pulling or pushing a partner is another technique that will force a longer stride. The player doing the pulling typically leans forward more, which causes them to use longer strides. The resistance also helps build leg strength. Weave crossovers with pylons. A good exercise for working on edge control is performing crossovers while weaving around pylons. It helps players concentrate on gliding on their outside edges, and the pylons keep the players in controlled movements where speed is not important. Weave crossunders with pylons. This drill can be used to help develop edge control. It promotes agility and coordination. The feet are constantly crossing each other and alternating pushes off the inside and outside edges. Forward striding, hands on stick on ice. This is a good technique for both starting and forward striding because keeping the hands on the ice forces a strong toe push and a long stride. As players further develop, they should be able to stand up from this position in one motion and continue on in a full stride. Stride and bend. The stride and bend technique is a great exercise for developing leg strength and balance. As players continue to practice this technique, they will naturally adopt the deep knee bend and incorporate it into their normal stride. Jump stride. The jump stride is a plyometric skating technique used to develop agility, leg strength, and an explosive stride. The key to this exercise is to jump from the inside edge of one skate to the inside edge of the other without taking a stride between jumps.
Backward skating is a key element in responding to hockey's constant changes in position and direction. All players need to master backward skating, not just the defense. Everyone needs to skate backwards efficiently and effectively if they want to become good, well-rounded skaters.
C-cuts, left foot, right foot. C-cuts are a basic skill that can help players develop their backward skating. The C-cut is an important skill to master because it's a necessary component of many other skills, such as crossovers and propulsion while turning. The basic C-cut involves using one leg as the glide leg and the other as the drive leg. After a strong push by the toe of the skate, the drive leg must recover directly under the body next to the glide leg. C-cuts alternating. Alternating C-cuts are the foundation of backward striding. It is important that players maintain a quiet upper body and resist leaning too far forward. Maintaining a deep knee bend in the glide leg allows a long thrust from the drive leg. Players should also avoid swinging their hips from side to side. Swinging the hips causes an improper transfer of weight from one skate to the other. Gliding on two skates, backward. Gliding backward on two skates is simply a moving backward stance. It isn't often done during a game, but players will usually use this technique when they're either relaxed or not involved in the play. Gliding on one skate, backward. Gliding backward on one skate is the preliminary move for many other skills. As in forward skating, the basic principle in backward skating is that one foot must be under the body's center of gravity at all times. The blade of the glide skate should be flat on the ice, not on the edges. Slalom, C-cuts narrow. Adding a narrow slalom pattern when performing C-cuts is great for helping players develop their coordination and achieve better control of their skates. Slalom C-cuts wide. This exercise is similar to slalom C-cuts narrow. The difference is that the slalom will cover more of the ice and the C-cut is more exaggerated. C-cuts pulling partner. Having the players pair up and pull each other while performing C-cuts is an easy way to offer resistance. If done properly, the added resistance will help players perform a more precise C-cut, allowing them to concentrate on doing the technical aspects of the skill correctly. Slalom pulling partner. Using the slalom technique while pulling a partner is another method of adding resistance while also building strength. It may be useful to have the partner give instructions such as head up or eyes forward. Slalom, alternating lead foot. Just as in forward skating, alternating the lead foot when performing a slalom is another great exercise for improving edge control. It is important that each time a player goes into a turn, that the feet exchange front and back positions and never leave the ice. This is a great exercise for developing agility and coordination. Backward sculling. Backward sculling is simply combining a series of C-cuts. A quiet upper body without excessive arm movement is the key to performing this drill efficiently. Jump stride backward. The jump stride is a plyometric skating technique used to develop agility, leg strength, and an explosive stride. The key to this exercise is to jump from the inside edge of one skate to the inside edge of the other without taking a stride between jumps.
When changing directions, turns, pivots, and crossovers are more energy efficient than stops and starts. Because of the nature of today's game, players need to learn to turn equally well in both directions. Proficiency in these skills will enable a player to react more quickly to whatever's going on in the ice.
Glide turns. Glide turns typically happen when a player is either not involved in the play or is getting ready to react to what is happening around them. It begins with the skates shoulder width apart and is initiated by the head and shoulders. Using a proper knee bend, the body must lean in the direction of the turn. It is important to follow the stick into the turn. Tight turns. Tight turns permit players to change direction in a very limited space while expending the least amount of energy. During a turn, pressure should be kept on the outside edge of the lead foot and the inside edge of the following foot. The weight should be distributed as evenly as possible on both skates. By keeping the skates close together and the center of gravity ahead of the skates, players will be able to cross over after the turn and accelerate rapidly. Players should learn to master tight turns on both sides of their body. Tight turn. Dive into turn. This exercise involves 4 tight turns, 2 in each direction. Because the pylons are staggered, the player has to dive into each turn. It's an easy drill to set up for players to practice their tight turns, as well as their speed and agility coming out of a turn. 360s left and right. 360s to the left or right are essentially tight turns without using a pylon for guidance. Players should concentrate on leading with their front foot and digging it into the ice during the turn. It is important to lean into the turn and then accelerate out of the turn with 1 or 2 quick crossovers. .360s alternating. Alternating 360s not only helps to develop a player's tight turns, but also their speed and agility after changing directions. Players should master the ability to perform tight turns in both directions, as well as their ability to pick up speed following the turn. C-cuts around circle, outside foot. The motion for performing C-cuts around a circle with the outside foot is essentially the same for C-cuts in a straight line. The only difference is that the glide leg uses the circle as a guide. It's the push from the inside edge of the outside foot that propels the player in a circular motion. The heel should turn outward and push into the ice, with the recovery occurring close to the glide foot. C-cuts, around circle, inside foot. When performing C-cuts around a circle with the inside foot, it is the push from the inside edge of the inside foot that propels the player in a circular motion. The power comes from turning the heel outward and pushing it into the ice. C-cuts, around circle, both feet. A combination of the previous 2 exercises. This is not a natural skating movement, but it does help to develop a strong push equally from each skate. C-cuts, around circle, crossunders. This is a preliminary movement for the crossover, where the inside leg extends and pushes off. It begins with a normal C-cut, but instead of recovering next to the glide leg, the drive leg crosses behind the glide foot and executes a C-cut with the outside edge of the skate. The cross-under motion is how players can develop extra power from their inside drive leg. Crossovers, forward. Crossovers are a method of turning while maintaining or picking up speed. The crossover begins by extending the outside foot back and to the side. The player then pushes off the inside edge and brings the outside foot over and in front of the inside leg. At this point, the inside foot also extends sideways and backward by pushing off the outside edge. The steps are repeated as the player continues to turn. Crossovers, grab stick low. Grabbing the stick low while performing crossovers is a great exercise to help players who don't have a deep enough knee bend during their crossovers. This positioning helps the players create a stronger push and also forces greater flexion in the knees. Crossovers, 3 quick, left and right. This drill is a great way to improve a player's agility and foot speed. By doing 3 quick crossovers to the left and right, the player is constantly changing directions. Younger players often forget to complete the crossover when attempting this exercise with speed. However, note that technique is more important than speed when performing this drill. C-cuts, a round circle, outside foot, backward. Performing C-cuts around a circle with the outside foot is essentially the same when going backward as it is forward. Again, it is the push from the inside edge of the outside foot that propels the player in a circular motion. The power comes from turning the heel outward and pushing the toe into the ice. C-cuts, a round circle, inside foot, backward. Just as in doing C-cuts with the outside foot, this drill has the inside foot following the same pattern. The heel must turn outward, and a strong push with the toe will initiate the arc-like motion. The drive leg should then recover next to the glide leg. C-cuts, a round circle, cross-unders, backward. Just as with the cross-under movement in forward skating, the cross-under going backward is designed to isolate the inside foot and generate more power from the outside edge of the toe. Crossovers backward. Crossovers backward are usually used only by defensemen during games, but it's important that all players are able to perform them equally as well as forward crossovers. The skill starts by picking up the outside foot and bringing it across and in front of the inside foot. At the same time, the inside foot extends back and to the side, creating a pushing force with both feet. The outside foot, which is now on the inside of the body, pushes outward. Crossovers, backward reaching. This technique helps to increase a player's speed when skating backward. When a player initiates a crossover move, the outside foot should reach out as far as possible. Once the toe is planted, the reaching aspect forces the player to pull the rest of the body to the outside. This creates more power and momentum for the player to perform additional crossovers. Crossovers, high and low. This drill develops a great deal of foot speed by performing 3 or 4 quick crossovers in one direction and then 3 or 4 in the other. It is done around the top of one circle and then the bottom of another. Performing the drill in this way is more relevant to an actual game situation than performing crossovers around a complete circle. Crossovers, 4 pylon race. A great way for getting maximum effort out of players in practice is to set up a relay race or competition-style drill. This drill consists of 4 pylons placed in a square, with 1 player at each pylon. On the coach's signal, the players take off in the same direction and try to catch the person in front of them. The pylons should be placed so that the players are constantly crossing over. Backward, 1 foot stop and T-start. This skill is a great way to transition quickly from backward skating to forward skating. As the player is about to stop, it is important for the skate blade to rotate outward before positioning itself 90 degrees to the desired stopping direction. The weight of the body should be on the front portion of the rear skate blade. This enables the player to dig deeply into the ice and get in position for a forward T-start. Pivots, backward to forward and forward to backward. Backward to forward and forward to backward pivots allow a player to change directions without modifying speed. Before a player performs either of these pivots, their weight must be over the glide leg. To make a backward to forward pivot, a player must rotate their drive skate 180 degrees outward and place it down on the ice. Following a simultaneous rotation of the head, shoulders, and hips, the weight is then transferred rapidly to the rotating skate, while the glide skate rotates 180 degrees, becoming parallel to the rotating skate. To make a forward to backward pivot, the actions are similar, except the player will need to rotate their drive skate almost 270 degrees. Players will find it easier to first master the backward to forward pivot before they can fully master the forward to backward pivot. Pivots, open and reverse. These types of pivots are used to change direction when carrying momentum into a turn. The open pivot occurs when a player is skating backward, then with the weight on the inside leg, reaches forward and sideways with the outside leg to change the momentum from backward to forward. In the reverse pivot, a player skates forward and then turns the feet as if to stop, but instead leads with the heels parallel to each other in a short circular glide. Heel-to-heel glide. The heel-to-heel glide is a skill that is not performed very often, but it can be used as an escape move to avoid contact or sneak through a narrow opening. To perform this move, the player picks one foot up and rotates it 180 degrees, then places it back on the ice so that the heels are facing each other. Players will need to have great balance control and flexibility in the hips in order to perform this maneuver. Mohawk on circles, open. This is a progression in pivoting that enables a player to always be facing the play. In performing this skill, the player picks up the inside foot and rotates it 180 degrees, then places it back on the ice so that the heels are facing each other. The other foot is then brought up and rotated 180 degrees, so the feet are once again parallel. Mohawk on circles, open and reverse. This next progression of Mohawk on circles is used to increase agility and foot speed by quickly exchanging the foot that carries the body's weight. It's an important skill that allows players to change directions without losing speed. Skating agility drill, number 1. This racing drill can help players develop quick feet. The players will need to perform a quick start, a forward 2-foot stop, a backward 2-foot stop, and crossovers all in the same drill. This is a great drill for developing a player's agility and overall conditioning. Skating agility drill number 2. This is another drill that can be used to develop quick feet. It incorporates many different skating skills in a confined area.
Skating is the most important skill in hockey. Strong fundamentals and continuous practice and improvement will enable skaters to become proficient in the skills necessary to play the game. As players gain confidence in their skating abilities, they'll begin to see improvements in all aspects of their game, which ultimately leads to a more positive experience and more enjoyment for the game of hockey.